Hello, friends and lovers. I'm here today in my new cow print lounge set to start, a cozy weekend vlog. So this weekend, I thought, let's hang out together, let's connect, but also let's read two very hyped romance novels. So right now I'm going to start Soul Searching by Lylah Sage, and then later in the video we're gonna read Mate by Hazelwood. So that's a stocked weekend. Hope you're ready. Buckle up. Please let me know in the comments if you have been able to read either of these, or if you're going to, keep it a conversation. But yeah, I'm gonna try to not give too much away as possible, just give you the setup, my initial thoughts, a kind of vague overall thought, stuff like that. But we have a few things planned this weekend, so it should be also just a fun vlog to watch, even if you're not into either of these books. Today, I have a little bit of work to do. It is Friday, so I typically work 4 hours on Friday, so I'm gonna clock into that, and, maybe I can do some listening, maybe I can't, because I do have Soul Searching on audio. So we will see how that goes, but I will update you, as the updates come in. I don't want you to confuse me with someone who is making good choices with their adult money. Not only did I buy a cow lounge set, I also bought a whole box of Labubus. This is my favorite one. I didn't realize that because these ones are tie-dyed, even ones of the same color look slightly different. I have another one of this who I'm giving to a friend, and theirs is way more pink than purple, where this one's purple. I feel on the camera it kind of looks more pink, but it's purple. Anyway, we will put her down as we discuss the book. So I did end up listening to a little bit of Soul Searching, and then after work I did some chores, so I listened to a little bit more. So here is what we're working with. So this is Lylah Sage's first book in a new series, Sweetwater Peak, I think, or Ridge. Who's to say? Sweetwater something. And it's kind of a paranormal town. The main character can see and sense ghosts. So, it fits with the season. We're in it. So Collins, who we're following, is a twin, and she is on her way back to Sweetwater to she claims she's there to help her family, but really she is in some financial problems. So she's staying in an apartment above a shop that she's helping with a man whose their meet cute was her pepper spraying him. So we're off to a good start. I think we all should meet men that way, just see how they react. I feel it's probably a good gauge of a lot of things. So I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I do love a Lylah Sage novel. I gave her last book 5 stars, so I have really high hopes for this. As usual, I am going to start my Friday afternoon nap imminently. It is coming. It always is. I'm excited because tonight we're going for sushi, but I'm hoping I can eat it because I had more dental work done. If you remember a few vlogs back, I had an emergency root canal. We recently found out that my teeth were way worse than we thought, and the one next to it needed to get a new crown. So now my mouth is prepped for 2 crowns, but now we have to wait 2 weeks for them to make the crowns and then stick them in my mouth. So, we're having a lot of fun. I am uncomfortable, but, it is what it is. This is just a public service announcement that you should never stop going to the dentist. I only stopped going for 1 year, and shit hit the fan. Never again. Never again. Anyway, I'm going to go nap, and then hopefully, have a good rest of my Friday. I do have a video to edit, which vlog that needs to go up tomorrow. So, you know, I have to do some work there. And I think that's going to take like 3 hours of my day. So the quicker I get to the nap, the quicker I get to the editing, the quicker I get to reading more of this book. You see the vision. Let's go. I got a new ring light. I do not know how this looks right now, so I might look crazy. I'm still playing with the settings. I'm like, should I turn off the other light in my room? Like, I don't know. I almost never film in here. This is like my romance bookshelf, which I never film in front of. And so I thought, you know, I got a new ring light. let's bring them into the room. I never show them. This is literally all of the piles of books that I've been meaning to sell forever. We went out tonight, so we went to a sushi place that we like to go to that's like one of those like revolving sushi bar type things, and they had like One Piece stuff, and my boyfriend loves One Piece, and if you've been watching my vlogs, you know I've been watching One Piece, so there's a lot going on. So obviously we had to go because they were giving away like little, if you eat a certain amount of like plates off the revolving sushi thing, you get a prize. And it's One Piece themed this month, so. So he got the chopsticks, obviously. You need those for the sushi. And then it's still in its wrapping, but he also got a lanyard. You know, you need that. Oh, and then my favorite character from One Piece is Chopper. If you know Chopper, he is a crybaby, but I love him. He's my crybaby. So he's on like, I forgot what those are called. They're like taco something. Whom is to say? But he's gorgeous. He's so cute. Keep him forever. But we also stopped and went to Ranch 99. This Ranch 99 is better than the one that's closer to us because it has like these little buns and stuff. So I ended up getting like a custard one, and then I got a cheese puff taro bun. Interesting. Do not know what this holds for me. I don't think I've tried either of these. So I'll have one of those with my coffee tomorrow. And then I really liked this drink the last time I had it. So it's Kuromi. And since I've played the Hello Kitty video game, you know, I've been feeling closer to her than ever before. This is a passion fruit mango soda. So, you know, she's gorgeous. And then it was kind of funny. Did I get these because they were Demon Slayer? Yeah, but they're melon mochi. So who didn't want those? That's all the shopping I did. I did a little bit more reading before I went to take my nap, and I'm about 15% into soul searching now. Like, I feel like there isn't like too much to tell you. I am very much enjoying the close proximity between her and the love interest because they both like live above the shop in like two different apartments, but you know, it's still in close proximity. And then they both work at the shop together because he owns it. He like reupholsters stuff. Her and her sister can like sense ghosts, and they're like identical twins. So they can sense ghosts, but their mother, or I think it's their mother, can feel like if a item has like good or bad energy. And so she knows when she gets like an item reupholstered or when they're antiquing, she knows like which way to go because she knows which items might be like a little bit haunted or not. So I thought that was kind of cute. And I love that it's kind of like small town plus this paranormal aspect. I think that's a lot of fun. And I love that she took like what I think she writes well, which is small town romance, and kind of put a little bit of a twist on it, because I think, you know, not that I don't love authors who kind of write the same kind of story again and again. I like it when people, you can tell, like, enjoy and appreciate other kinds of books, and then, you know, try to do that for themselves. But we'll see how far I get tonight, and I will probably update you in the morning. I'm gonna hang out with the boyfriend for a little bit and, you know, watch some One Piece. Hopefully I can do a little bit of reading tonight, but I still have to edit my video for tomorrow. So we shall see. I finally finished editing my video and got it up. I say finally, like I wasn't watching The Vampire Diaries, you know, as one does. But I did listen to a little bit more of Soul Searching this morning as well. I don't know, I'm really liking the dynamic. Like, it's kind of funny because it kind of has the vibes of, like, they don't really like each other. Like, Collins thinks that Brady's boring, and Brady thinks that Collins is crazy. So it's kind of like a fun dynamic. Not that much further in, but, you know, I'm having a good time. I think, honestly, this has like really great potential. Brady doesn't actually know that the town is supernatural. And so when Collins is like talking to ghosts and stuff, he's just like, why is she talking like that? Like one time he asked her, like, who are you talking on the phone with? And she was like, I wasn't on the phone. And that's because she was talking to ghosts, buddy. She was talking to ghosts. Anyway, I look like this because I'm about to embark on something adorably fun. Me and my friends are going to a workout class with puppies. So look forward to some, you know, little clips from that. Well, hello. We have an extra shaky baby with us who usually doesn't let me hold her. This will last 3 seconds and I might have a bloody wound. But here she is. How are you? Okay. I think she's done. Let's let her escape now. Ow. She got me in the tummy. I knew that wasn't going to go well, but she was looking so cute. But anyway, puppy yoga was a good time, even though I don't think I would do it again, just because maybe puppies and yoga should be separate, because I really just wanted to play with the puppies, I think. So, you know, like, I was like, why are we stretching during this? We should be fully locked in on the puppies. And got matcha and went out and had some breakfast. And now she wants to escape the room. Gizmo. Let's see if she discovers the opening. Sometimes she's kind of stupid. So I had a very good start to my Saturday. So I'm hoping that we can get a large chunk of soul searching done this afternoon. I actually think I'm going to start coloring and listen to my audiobook because I feel like that's just like what I want to do. And all of my friends have been coloring recently, and so it's been making me want to color. And I did recently just buy another new coloring book, even though I think I'm going to keep coloring in I have like a Halloween-y one. So I think I'll probably do that and try to fight the urge to watch several hours of Vampire Diaries. If I watch 1 or 2, oh no. Oh no. But sometimes, you know, you got to give in to the things you want. And that's okay. I think you'd want me to watch several hours of the Vampire Diaries if I truly, truly wanted to. So I finished coloring and now I need to do some chores. My boyfriend has been out all day, but he says he's really hungry and he's gonna be home in like an hour. So I think I'm gonna do the dishes and then cook our dinner. But I also wanted to say I'm about 50% through the book now. I don't know, like I'm enjoying it and I'm like along for the ride, and I do really like Lylah Sage's writing, but I'm not like, are you talking to me? Hi. That's the grumpiest meow I've ever heard. Anyway, he just got out of bed because he heard me talking. Anyway, so I do like the writing, but it's like something about the couple. I'm just like I'm not totally rooting for them. Like, I'm not rooting against them. Like, maybe I'm not like feeling the tension or the chemistry between them, because they do have this, he's being so cute. They do have the like close proximity thing going for them, because they're like living kind of in the same apartment, but there seems to be like different suites or something. I don't know. Something's going on with that. And then they both work at his store. So I feel like they spend so much time together. Stop trying to go under the sink. He's like, if mom's ignoring me, I will cause chaos. But like, I'm just not feeling it. Like, I feel like the setup should be giving me what it's giving me. But right now, I do feel kind of like 3 stars, like not even a 3.5 at this point. Just 3. Like, it's fine and it's fun, but it's not like, I don't know, like when I compare it to other books that are like 4 or 5 stars, it definitely just doesn't hold up. And so I don't know what's going on with that, you know, because a lot of her books I'm really on board for. Like, the only one I didn't love, I think the only other one I gave 3 stars was Done and Dusted. So, like, maybe I just don't like her first books in series when she's, like, setting stuff up. I don't know. And I am absolutely going to read up all of the other books in the series. Like, unless the other one is also, like, just kind of neither here nor there, maybe I would just wait till the next series, because I do know that she can write, like, couples and chemistry in a way I absolutely love. But this is feeling, like, a little disappointing. Like, even though I'm not hating it, I feel like sometimes I'm more upset feeling mid about something than I am about, like, actively disliking it. Because at least it's, like, making me feel something, you know? Anyway, okay, I'm going to keep listening and do some of my chores. I only have about 5 hours left in the audiobook, and I'm listening to it at, like, 2.5. Kind of depends what I'm doing. Like, when I'm coloring, I can turn it up way more, because I'm like listening and just coloring, and it's nice and easy. But yeah, so we'll see how much longer it takes. I would like to either finish or almost finish tonight, so that way we can wrap it up tomorrow, and then I can start Mate, which I am very excited about. And Allie Hazelwood will not let me down. I know that. So maybe I just have to wait for her, you know? She can revive the vlog. Good morning. We are here on this planet together, you and I. So I finished soul searching last night, and you know, I left a little disappointed. I think I talked about it a little bit in my last clip about this, but there was just something in it that like it wasn't that there was something in it that didn't work for me. It was just like there was something missing. And that something missing made it not work for me, if that makes sense. I still enjoyed it and I had a good time with it. And it's so hard to explain that it just felt like there was an element missing. And I can't necessarily like pinpoint what it was, because there's definitely things that, you know, did work for me. And there were things that made me really happy. Something that I really did appreciate was actually the one who wanted to take their like more intimate relationship slower was actually the guy, because he had only been with 2 people prior, and he also just, you know, was a little nervous, didn't want to necessarily like rush that part of their relationship. And I think that was actually like one of my favorite parts of the book, because I mean, I just don't think you see that in romance as often as we should, because that's absolutely something that would happen in real life, you know? Like, guys are the only ones who like immediately want to jump into bed with anyone, you know? Like, they're allowed to have different feelings about it. And I think that's something that's like often overlooked because that's like not the fantasy, you know? But I kind of like it when you kind of blend what is real and what is fiction, you know? I did very much enjoy that part of it. And I did like their relationship, but I just didn't feel like that strongly about either of them. Like, I liked them in concept, but I almost felt like either one of them should have been a little bit more polarizing, because Brady like ran away from his life, had left his fiance, and is starting a new life in a small town. And because of what Collins like points out to him, he realizes that he's not even truly embracing the life in the small town. He's just been staying to himself. And I think that could have been a really good moment of character growth, because even though later he mentions it and is like, okay, you made me realize all these things, I kind of wish we kind of saw that instead of him telling us that, if that makes sense. I feel like Collins was treated like she had like this really big polarizing self-isolationist personality, but I almost feel like it needed to be turned up just a little more for me to really like connect with it. Like, I feel like it needed to be dramatized, where this did just feel like a quieter novel. And maybe at a different point, or if I was, you know, in a different mood, maybe that would have worked for me more, because there's definitely books I enjoy that have that like quieter sense to them, but this just wasn't that, you know? I did start Mate this morning, and I'm about 15% of my way in now. I am very much enjoying so far, you know, Allie Hazelwood goodness. And this follows our main character is a hybrid, and she is the first hybrid that has like come out publicly. And so she's half human, half werewolf. And you also find very quickly that she already has a mate, and she knows who it is, and he told her. But it's not necessarily like this grand, like instant love thing. He just says, I know you're my mate. We literally don't have to do anything about it. You know, like he's just gonna be there. And, you know, I kind of like that, because instead of it being like, oh, like, I don't know, like barbarian, you are mine, let me club you over the head. He's just like, I'll just like be here if you need me. I'll protect you. And our main character now, she is dealing with a lot of repercussions for like coming out as a hybrid. A lot of people like don't know like what having hybrids looks like and how that might affect, you know, their society and all of that. So I am appreciating like those conversations. Like I said, I'm only 15% in, so I feel like I'm like barely scratching the surface of what's going on here, but I do find myself, you know, having a good time. I have been also watching some different like coloring technique videos this morning, and so I think I want to try some of them. There's some very like interesting techniques people are using in coloring that I've been trying to pay attention to. As someone who's like not that creative, I don't know much about colors or like how things work together, or like how to, you know, see a light source and like think about like cool tones or warm tones. And, you know, like that's just not something that's like at the top of my head. So I'm hoping that I can sit down and do a little bit of that this morning, and also, you know, listen to Mate and see, you know, how far I get. We do have some plans later this evening. I am seeing Miss Dua Lipa. So, you know, it is an exciting day. But for now, I'm just going to relax, enjoy my book, enjoy my second cup of coffee, and get to some coloring. I did end up coloring for a little bit, and now I'm like 25% through the book. And I'm really enjoying it. I also was thinking, I don't want to give too much away because I know so many people are very excited about this. But all I'll say is our main character is like keeping a secret. And I'm actually finding that part of the story like very interesting. And we're also passing back and forth between timelines. And so you're kind of like getting filled in on like the secret from both sides and kind of wondering like how, you know, the other people would react to finding out the thing she's keeping a secret. So yeah, this is definitely hitting for me. I feel like this is definitely a potential 5-star. I am loving the like tension between her and the alpha, even though they're not like together. It's still just like very interesting to me. So I'm hoping we like keep going in that direction and just having a good time. I don't know how much more I'm gonna get done because like I said, we are going to a concert, but it's in San Francisco. So I have to get to San Francisco. Like I'll probably read a little bit on the train, but I don't know how much more I'm gonna get done. But we're about 25% in now. So even if I could get to 35 or 40 today, that would be pretty good. And of course, I will just update you during the week as I finish it up. Good morning. It is a rough Monday. You know, partying with Dua all night and then coming to work is hard work. But yes, so reading update, I am 40% through Mate now. Very much enjoying. There was kind of a plot twist I wasn't expecting. I thought it was just going to be like some kind of dumb, grumpy reason for why something was happening. And if you've read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So that was interesting. And now I'm like, okay, like, how are we gonna make this work, you know? So hopefully I will have some more thoughts later when I get home. I'm hoping to get some time in, but I know I'm gonna be like pretty busy today, so I don't know how much I'm gonna listen to at work. It depends like what needs to get done, because usually I can only really listen when I'm doing like a repetitive task. If it's something new, silence is all I need. Anyway, let's soldier on through this Monday. Send me all the good vibes you have. It absolutely dumped on me on my way home. So my clothes were literally like dripping with it. But you know, I'm home from work now. You might be able to hear my boyfriend's like cooking in the next room, so you might hear some banging around or something. But God, I don't even know how far I am into Mate, but just, oh my God, like the angst, the yearning, all of the feelings I am feeling, all of the chemistry. Like, honestly, I don't say this lightly, guys, but this might be my new favorite Allie Hazelwood. Before this, my pinnacle and my star was Love on the Brain. This is so good. Like, go read it. If you're not already gonna read it, go read it, you know? And I think also what really works for me is that this one definitely like cranked up the Omegaverse vibes. So she definitely sprinkled a lot more of that in there, which if you know me, I love Omegaverse. So that's not like too surprising that I think like this works for me because it's more Omegaverse-y. Wow. She's like really blowing me away. And I also wanted to say that I feel like this main character also feels a lot different than a lot of her other female characters, because I feel like they tend to feel like kind of on the same side of the spectrum. Not necessarily, I'm not saying like they all read exactly the same, because they don't, but they were kind of over here. I do kind of like the ongoing thing that she's like a liar and that she like lies about things, and that the love interest like knows about that. And so he'll be like, I was like, maybe you're lying to me right now. And she like kind of like owns up to it. She's like, yeah, like I do be lying. I think you can tell I'm absolutely loving this. And even though I was absolutely dripping in the rain from my walk from the train to my house, which is only 10 minutes, but I was listening to it like under my hood, and I was just smiling. I think some guy who passed me thought I was insane. It was like, this is miserable weather, and I'm just out here like trying not to giggle on the path home, you know? But oh my God. I only have like a little bit to go, but part of me like wants to drag it out. But I also haven't had a 5-star read that I felt like this strongly about in a while. And so that's also making me very happy. So I'm going to go read some more and enjoy my new favorite Allie Hazelwood. Well, hopefully, you know, we haven't got to the ending yet. Like, what if she totally doesn't stick the ending? There's definitely a lot more plot in this one than, you know, her contemporaries. From what I remember of Bride, I was also just like I liked Bride, but I didn't love Bride. Like, I thought it was pretty solid, but a lot of people were like super obsessed with it, and that just wasn't me, which is okay. But I get it now. I get it. I'm on board. Allie should write way more paranormal romances. I think that's all I want from her now. Leave the science stuff behind, lady. Okay, now I'm rambling. Let's go get her done. I was sitting here for a few minutes because you know the phrase, like kicking ass and taking names. I was like, what if it was kicking names and taking ass? Anyway, I felt like you needed to know that. Don't know why, you just needed to. But besides that, we have finished Mate, which means we've come to the end of this video. Mate was so good, and I had such a delightful time reading it. I feel like I've already given you like pretty much my dense thoughts. I looked at the last clip. It was almost 7 minutes long, so hopefully I captured something in there, you know? That was like worth saying, and I didn't want to give away too much while reading this because I truly think many of you are going to pick this up. So why give away the joy? But it was so good. I immediately was telling all my friends they need to read it because I think legitimately this is going to be my favorite Allie Hazelwood. We'll see what she does to top it. You know, like she's been coming out with so many books this year, and I hope she never slows down. You know, I hope she stays clocked in. So what a delight to end this video on. I think my top 3 right now are Mate, Love on the Brain, and then for number 3, God, number 3, what is it? Probably Deep End. Probably Deep End. Oh, it's been such a good Allie Hazelwood year. Okay. Well, I will be seeing you guys very soon. And as always, thank you so much for watching.